the first thing I would encourage everyone to do would be to pull out your declarations page of your auto insurance policy and look at it. It is shocked the number of times we have people that call us at Richard Schwartz and Associates, and we hire us because they were in an accident that was not their fault, and we say, do you have uninsured motorist coverage? And they're like, oh, I've got full coverage. You know, that's the standard answer everyone always gives us is I have full coverage. Well, that's not an insurance term. If you go to your agent and say, I want full coverage, it's not like the Supreme Pizza you're ordering from the local joint. There's no such thing as full coverage. There are so many different insurance coverages, and you pay for each and every one of them, so it's like more like going through a buffet. It's a la carte. You're going to pick and choose what you need, because under Mississippi law, you have to carry liability insurance, but you don't have to carry uninsured motorists. You don't have to carry comprehensive. You don't have to carry rental reimbursement or medical pay or all those other things. So you really need to look at your policy and determine what you have. I love Mississippi. I've lived in Mississippi now this is my 32nd year. So it is my adopted home state, and I love it, love the people, love what Mississippi is about. But unfortunately, we are the most uninsured driver state in the country. Looking at all the polls and reports and surveys out there, we vary, but it's about 20%. So think about 1 out of every 5 cars as you drive around, whether it be today or tomorrow, and you're looking on your local Main Street or I-55 or Highway 49 or Highway 22, wherever you may be, count every 5th car and realize they probably don't have insurance. And so that's what makes uninsured motorist coverage so important to you as a driver, because in our line of work, when people call us up and it's absolutely not their fault for a wreck, the number one reason we are not successful in making a recovery for them is simply because there's no insurance on the at-fault party. And sadly, they don't carry uninsured motorist coverage. So look at your policy. It's a great time. It's a great day to do it. Look at your insurance policy. Do you have liability coverage? You have to carry that. The state mandated minimum is $25,000. You're going to look at your policy. It's going to say $25,000/$50,000. People get very confused as to what does that mean. So $25,000/$50 means this. If you're in a wreck, it's not your fault. The person has the minimum. The most you as an individual can collect is $25,000 from their liability coverage if they carry the minimum. If there are 2 or more people, so 2 on to infinity, the most their insurance company will have to pay out is $50,000. I can tell you we have had that happen. I can remember just as clear as day 5 years ago, a school bus accident where a car ran into a school bus. There were 21 students on the school bus, plus the school bus driver, who were hit by a car that had a $50,000 policy, a 25/50 policy. So what did that mean? That 22 people had to fit into a $50,000 pot of money. You talk about one of the most challenging cases I have ever had in my life, because some hired us. The vast majority of those people hired us. Some hired another law firm, and there were a handful that didn't hire anybody. And so we had to get all 22 into court because the adverse insurance company did what's called an interpleader, where they basically said, here, court, here's our $50,000. You take it and figure it out, because we don't know what to do. So really, look at your policy. So important. Are you carrying the minimum liability coverage? That is your shield. So that's what that is, liability. I run into Perez as we leave the parking lot today, which, Lord willing, I won't do. Perez can come after my liability insurance. That's what he can get. But, so if I run saying to somebody it's my fault, they're going to come attack my liability insurance. If someone hits me that doesn't have insurance, and what I can do is look to my uninsured motorist coverage, and that allows me to still make a claim because I was in a wreck. It wasn't my fault. The person who caused the wreck had no insurance. So look at your policy. You've got to look at it. If you've got a local agent, go through and talk to your local agent. One thing that's really interesting is if you reject uninsured motorist coverage, there is a state-listed form that you have to sign. There's a rejection form that you have to sign. So really what you should do is make sure you look at it, have your agent quote out different prices for you. I know a lot of folks now, we call 1-800 numbers or 888 numbers, and you're talking to somebody, on the phone. But you want to be able to buy the most insurance you can buy that fits within your household budget to protect yourself.